This year, on our annual European break, we decided to try northern Spain and see if it really is the undiscovered jewel that quite a few people have said it is. We rode along the pilgrimage trail to Cap Finisterre, the most western point in mainland Europe, taking in northern Portugal, the Picos mountains and the cultural city of Santiago de Compostela. The trip included some great roads, good food and beer, interesting cultural highlights, and really was undiscovered country for bikers. So half an hour in and Dave, and the bikes are filthy already.
Yeah, really dirty already. I think we need to go home and give them a wash again and come back. So it's gone well so far, apart from the damp weather. 3 weeks of sunshine, and the day we set off for the big trip, it's raining.
So what was the highlights of the trip down then, Dave?
I think the weather wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I think I coped quite well on the roads. And of course the planned route went a little bit AWOL, and we hit three road closures on the journey down here. So we had to make a few detours there.
We had to make a few detours for your toilet stops as well, didn't we?
Yes, well, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. But one of the highlights, we found a BMW garage.
What did you find in the BMW garage?
Well, there was a nice lady in there, a fellow biker.
I'm not going to be using that, am I? Okay, I'm currently in a Sainsbury's car park just outside Abingdon. Dave stopped me on the journey. He decided he needed the toilet. He's had a little bit too much coffee already. About halfway to Portsmouth. I have a feeling this might become something of a feature of the tour, Dave popping for a wee-wee. But we'll see. Hopefully his old man prostate will stand up to it. We made good time to Portsmouth. Getting through customs was simple enough, even with Dave being pulled for a check, no doubt due to his shifty appearance. It was also great to see how robustly the bikes were tethered down on the boats. These guys are clearly used to looking after them. And the passage out of Portsmouth was simple enough before we settled down for a beer. And it was great to settle down on the boat for a whole 24-hour overnight crossing, which meant we could indulge in a couple before we had to get up the next afternoon, get off the boat about 4 o'clock.
Sorry?
What have you done most today?
Oh, drink probably.
No, you've done something more than that.
Oh, go to the loo.
Yeah. Yeah, you have. You become...
This is what becomes of being a 57, 58-year-old.
And you're doing all right, yeah. Paul Hollywood. So many people are coming up to you. So many people get within 6 feet of you and go, "Is that Paul?" "Oh no, it's not Paul Hollywood." "Oh well, we're within 6 feet now." And then they turn away. The trouble with an overnight crossing is that the holiday spirit probably hit us a little early on the sailing. Feeling a little rough this morning, are we, Dave?
Yeah, I think it's definitely down to the sea and the sickness and the boat going up and down. I don't think it was how many 8 drinks we had last night. I think it was definitely down to the sea.
No, you've not got your sea legs yet.
Yeah, it's good that. Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Thank you very much.
I was gutted this was all I caught on camera. We were out on the ship watching dolphins in the wake and numerous whales in the Bay of Biscay. We got into Santander on time. It was a nice and simple route off the boat, and we had to set a first night stop only 20 miles from the port in a seaside hotel at a place called Swans, mainly because the boat did not come in till 6 p.m. in the evening and we would be in need of a decent meal and a good night's sleep. beach venue. As always on trips like this though, we had about an hour there in daylight, and we could have done with a couple of days just to see what was around.
Really.
It was a cracking hotel first night, wasn't it?
Yes, it was really nice, yeah. And it was
best steak I've ever had, I think.
I think it was nice having a nice short run from the boat. I think we're just finding the bike.
I had a bit of a text fail in the restaurant, which raised a few eyebrows at home. You've got to love iPhone autocorrect. We got pulled over first thing the next morning, so a warning to all you bikers out there: start early and finish early, as they're pretty hot on the morning after driving. There were some very sad looking characters parked up who had been caught. Once we were clear of the local police, we made our way up into the national park, which is only half an hour from the hotel. Cracking lovely in the morning, wasn't it? Absolutely lovely. All up through that national park with the fair few obstructions, if you think about it.
This was a bit of a day of two tales, wasn't it, really?
Yeah,
I think
day of two halves.
The first morning was absolutely fantastic roads. We've said, really, the roads, the tarmac and finish on them is brilliant, isn't it?
Apart from face-offs with bulls, dodging horses,
yeah.
trucks in the middle of the road,
Yeah,
tractors cutting the hedges and no warning when you come round a blind corner.
yeah, that was good. Yeah, but yeah, the animals were a bit prolific, weren't they, on the roads? They seemed to like the roads more than the fields, I think.
Yeah. And in the afternoon,
we got absolutely hammered, didn't we?
bloody awful, wasn't it? That's the wettest I've ever been on a motorbike by a long way.
We stopped for lunch, didn't we? And we had a bit of a snack there. That wasn't very good, actually. So we could have done better, really, something to eat. But once we got going, we went straight into headlong into rain, torrential rain, then for about 80 miles.
Yeah. Oh, and a tip for all you bikers out there: if you're going to have waterproof gear and good waterproof gear, do it up. We didn't do it up. Well, I didn't do mine up, and I was absolutely bloody soaked because it went straight in around my belly and filled up my shoes.
I think the only good thing we did, we put our passports and our money in a plastic bag, and thank God we got away with that. Everything else was drowned, like soaked,
Yep.
So
my shoes were full of water, literally. My gloves I had to wring out. They're supposed to be waterproof. They filled up from the inside out. A bit of a disaster, if we're honest, but luckily it was nice and warm, and it's been lovely and sunny today. So we've dried ourselves off nicely. The roads throughout the trip were amazing, quiet and beautifully well maintained. Here's just a small selection from the first day. Lots more to come, which is what biking is all about. A word of warning: be prepared for unannounced hazards. We had cows, horses, tractors, edge cutters, you name it. You've heard Dave and I talk about the rain already, but this shows you what we were dealing with. Basically running in the clouds with 80 miles of thick rain, then mixed in with the cows and turds. It was an interesting but perfectly rideable afternoon. Luckily the rain cleared as soon as we got to Gijon for the evening. That doesn't mean you still can't make progress though, you just need to be aware of the hazards. Gijon was a lovely place. Huge beaches, great culture, beautiful city, and completely undiscovered by the Brits. We never saw another one. Dave and I did our best to sample the sites in the limited time we had, but most especially the famed Asturian cider, which is a whole cultural icon in the area. Gijon last night. That was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
Absolutely lovely.
well. It's I think we got caught out really because we went down to the town at our usual 6:30 time, and nothing opened, did it? It was absolutely dead. And then we realised that everything had come alive about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And I think that obviously night owls, you know.
Gracias. So what do you think of the old Asterian cider then?
Oh, we're talking about the cider now, are we? Yeah, that's really good.
So what's the tradition?
I quite like some cider. You know, that's we've had to experience the traditional cider bits there for it. Oh, forget it.
I think so. You've experienced quite a lot already, haven't you? Clearly.
It's attacked me already.
But the tradition in Asturia is you drink the cider, they pour a little bit for you, and you drink the cider, and then you save a little tiny bit and you pour it into the trough down there.
Yeah.
Dave immediately suggested he could wee in that. So what do you think of the Asturian traditional cider then, Dave?
Oh, it was utter shit to us.
It was bloody awful,
it
wasn't
was
it?
like pea water, it was. You go back to Somerset, that's where cider comes from.
It was like drinking cheese mixed with apples. But yeah, the theatre was good.
It was cheap though.
€2.70 for two of us. Yeah, not bad.
That was for you.
It's cheap for a reason, I think.
Yeah, that was alright. That was cheap and cheerful. That was what it was.
So we've been up in the, we've done a bit of everything today, haven't we? We've done seaside, we've done beach.
Yeah, it was quite a mixed journey today, wasn't it? It wasn't too long, and we've been to the seaside, had an ice cream. And,
yeah, very traditional.
Yeah, so yeah, it's good today. No, not too many incidents today. We got away with good weather and good roads as well. So
those lovely roads, weren't they? Up through the Spanish National Park, which is where we are now. Sat in a little cafe just outside of our apartments in a little place called Actually, I don't know what it's called.
No, I'll struggle.
No, I've got no idea what it's called.
Yeah, it was good. We got here quite early, so we've had a nice, relaxed couple of hours relaxing in the.
Washed the motorbikes because they were so filthy dirty.
Well, we had to do it.
That was after the trip down through England, wasn't it? And it just rained solid. So nice and shiny again now for all the photos. Oh, we did a little bit of playing up in the hills. We saw a lot of coastline today and plenty of beaches. I can't even remember where we were when these shots were taken, but the ice cream was a welcome relief as it was well over 30 degrees all day. So what do you think of the R1200R's then versus the Adventures? Much easier to handle, aren't they?
Oh yeah, I think they are. For me, I mean, I like the idea of the big bike. It is the big bike. It is the best, you know, and it's got all the gear and all the bells and whistles on. And but I think now we've driven these R1200R's. I think they're great. They're so easy to manage.
They are.
And when you're in awkward spots,
they shift really well as well, don't they? In the mountain, in the roads, when the roads are good.
Yeah, I think when you're in an awkward spot and you've got to get it out up an hill and you know, and everything through the traffic. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's good. The rest of the day was taken up with some sweeping roads through lovely scenery. Enough time to do more hooning around with the cameras, and we still ended up at the apartments in time to wash the bikes and get the English weather off them. After a lot of hard work, we managed to translate with the lovely waitress that we were getting fillet of veal. And I have to say, this was like €9, it's about £7.50. Pretty impressive, pretty impressive.
I think it's
absolutely bloody enormous. Day 5 was all about making a trip out of the national park to Santiago de Compostela, a real pilgrimage town. It started with a ride through the morning mists in the mountains, with some cracking stops in the mountains and on the plains. We passed through Lugo, with its Roman walls, which were interesting but not interesting enough to stop. Along the day we passed hundreds of walkers carrying out the traditional walk along the Santiago Way, where they walk all the way along the roads from before Santiago through Santiago right to Cap Finisterre. Santiago, it's the third most religious Christian site after Jerusalem and Rome. What do you think?
Well, I knew that because I could feel it as soon as I got here. No, it's okay. I mean, obviously we've got settled in the hotel and come down straight away to the main square.
Yeah.
And the main cathedral is very nice. I must admit, it's very spectacular inside. Yeah, we've got a nice little town here, and it's like the ancient part of the town.
Couldn't get out of the cathedral without being pushed through the gift shop though. Nice to see.
Yeah, they feed you through the gift shop.
They do. Yeah.
So you've got to get out that way.
It's very pretty. A lot of culture here. Beer's nice.
Yeah,
the 1906 Reserve Special.
Yes, we've got enough the prop off a couple. So.
Well, do we deserve this, don't we? Because the roads today were fantastic.
Yeah, good. What is it? About 150 mile roundabouts, I think, and absolutely baking hot. And
lovely roads though, all up through the mountains this morning.
Really nice roads and everything.
Those clouds and landscapes this morning were fantastic.
I mean, quite fast roads today, you know, and the bikes absolutely brilliant for this sort of work, you know. Really,
it was fantastic seeing those clouds in the mountains this morning. Just as we were sat on top of them.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
We took some good photographs as well.
Oh, hopefully.
Yeah, some good movies and everything. So that's worked out well for us.
And some interesting roads just on that final little way in. Went a little bit rural, didn't we?
We thought we was on another GS adventure routes again, these roads up and down. So
what were you just saying, Dave? It's nice sitting here drinking a beer.
I think this is what I feared, you know, coming on another trip on the motorbike. It's a real downer, like we're sitting here having a beer, we've got to put up with drinking this beer and sitting on the corner watching the women go by. It's absolutely terrible.
Personally, I'm just here drinking the beer, which is very, very tasteful, and clearly I'm slightly more cultured than Mr. Truman over here. He might have had, actually, in fairness, one beer too many. He's on his second.
Cheers.
end of another busy day, Dave?
Yes, what happened today, it was
Cap Finisterre.
yes, breakfast in the hotel and then off we went. I think, didn't we go to the farthest northern point, was it?
Western.
Is it Western Point?
Yeah,
is it?
furthest western point.
And but again, good roads and brilliant seaside places as well on the way. I mean, really nice.
I was amazed just how quiet it was. Just so few tourists.
Yeah. Big roads and no cars on them at all. You know, and I think that's the surprise, really.
Fantastic road over the top, wasn't there, with the windmills?
Yeah, really.
The wind turbine things.
There must have been about 3 dozen windmills all along the road, and it was windier there than anywhere else. So obviously they must have done their own work there. Like, you know, it's probably the windmills that are making the turbulence. Like,
shouldn't moan, but it's a bit warm, wasn't it? 37 degrees on the.
Yeah, it's a case of got back to the hotel and washed some more clothes out, ready for tomorrow.
There is a tradition with the Santiago way that the pilgrims walk and you get to the end of the trail, which is Cap Finisterre, at which point you strip off your clothes and set fire to them. This has now been pretty much banned at Cap Finisterre for quite a few reasons I can imagine. So what you see here is a bunch of school kids carrying out their own version of the ritual, throwing all their rucksacks into a pile. Santiago is certainly recommended for all the street culture.
It's Count of Monte Cristo, is it, Dave?
Oh, I think it ought to be a Churchill, like about an inch thick, like.
So what you're saying, when in Rome?
Another good day. Been down on the town. Had some interesting food tonight as well.
Lingua starter.
Yeah.
I've done a punch or what it was.
And
your croquettes. Yeah, can't beat the croquettes.
So I think we're just having a last coffee for.
Yeah, well, Dave's having a coffee. I'm not having a coffee. Today we left Santiago, albeit a bit rurally because of a few sat-nav fails, and as Portugal was so close it felt right to nip over the border and stay the night to tick another country off the list. What we weren't expecting was over 150 miles of absolutely stunning roads, especially as we got off to such a rural start. To complete a day of great riding, the last bridge across the river into Portugal was not your usual boring affair, really making us glad we decided to avoid the motorways all the way through Spain and Portugal. Valencia itself was a nice surprise. We weren't really expecting it, with cheap prices, a fantastic hill fort which is much more picturesque than it looks on the guides, and a really nice atmosphere in the town. Food was really good, great restaurant we found just outside the hill fort. The only downside of it were the forest fires raging on the horizon, but this didn't seem to bother the locals, so we didn't really let it bother us. Guess what? Probably no surprise now you've watched this far through the video. Today was another day of fantastic touring roads. Not so much twisty, but sweeping, and we cut across the north of Portugal and into Spain to a place called Ponferrada. This was our last night on land whilst we were away, so we took to a decent restaurant for the evening and a bottle of the local recommended wine. But the roads themselves are absolutely great, good progress, virtually traffic free. Before you comment, yes, of course, this footage is speeded up, otherwise we never would have got back in one piece.
Is that a good wine?
That's brilliant. Lovely wine. I think we've done well tonight. We've had last night pizza and wine as well. Oh,
you're looking a bit red-faced there, Dave.
And we've got coffee as well.
Hey.
Nice coffee. Yeah, you got it on your finger. Yeah.
To say, today, last day of the tour, making our way back to the ferry was a real surprise. We could easily have set the sat-nav to take us the quickest way back to Santander and spent some time looking around the town. But looking on the roads on the way back, we decided to take a more scenic route, and we saw more different types of scenery and roads in one day than I think I ever have before. We had great roads through the Picos mountains, more challenging ones towards the top, and then some amazing limestone canyons coming down the other side as we got close to Santander. Really just sit back and relax and see these roads because they were absolutely superb, and bearing in mind they're only half an hour to an hour from Santander itself, why wouldn't you?
Trip back. Bit of a mixture that was, wasn't it, really? I think.
Yeah, it's very flat plains.
Yeah, and then we had the high winds,
and back into the Picos themselves.
It was cold though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
really cold.
15 degrees.
But the end of the trip through the mountains to the passes. That was really good, wasn't it? Lovely roads.
That canyon coming down was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was unexpected really, because I thought it was going to be a little bit flat and a bit nonplussed really getting back to Santander. But no, that was really a good trip back there.
Potentially a little bit sheepish after your little incident.
Well, the thing was, I suppose in a way, looking at it, it was my own fault. I crossed that white line, and
the Guardia Civil had a word with you,
watching. So,
what was the damage?
only €100.
Oh, your wife is going to be so pleased. What's about a porter?
About £70 now, that is, so, oh well.
Been a good trip this year?
Yes, I've enjoyed it, yeah, it's been really good. I think it's a place that we thought to go, but looking back, I mean, I don't think anybody else thinks to go that way. You know, it was fairly empty, wasn't it? Not that many bikers.
We saw, what, 2 Brits and the whole holiday?
Yeah. But yeah, really good trip. I've enjoyed it.